everyone! Today we are filming a 24-hour readathon. Yay! This is my friend Lexi,
Hello.
who's going to be reading with me. And we're going to go through our TBRs because we have 3 minutes until the readathon starts.
We're a little late. Okay,
You go first.
My first thing that I'm going to start off with is Let's Get Lost by
Addie
Alsed.
Alsed.
I have started like the first 15 pages in this, and I'm hoping to finish this. And the next one is Pretty, I got at the library today, by Justin Sayre. We have Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I haven't read this yet, but it is one of her favorites, and so I want to read it. And then Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too. This is a graphic novel.
Mm-hmm. By John Nissan.
And quick read, same with Pretty. Very quick read. Okay.
Okay, my turn. So this is a very ambitious TBR. I just like having all my bases covered. So I'm starting with The Past and Other Things That Just Stay Buried by Sean David Hutchinson. I started this during a different readathon that I did like a week and a half ago, something like that. But I didn't really get very far. I think I'm on like page 40 or something. I don't have a bookmark, so I can't tell you the actual page. Oh wait,
same.
I do have a bookmark.
Same with this one. I don't have a bookmark.
I'm on page, I was off. I'm on page 14, so I was a little off. But I don't really know anything about it, but that's the way I like it. And so the next book I'm going to read after that is Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. This is one of the books on my winter TBR that I need to get to during winter, so yeah, I don't know anything about it, but it's John Green, so I don't need to know anything about it. And next I have Optimists Die First by Suzanne Nielsen. And again, I don't really know much about this, but it's on my winter TBR, so it needs to get read. Another book on my winter TBR is The Vanishing Season by, I don't know, because they covered the author's name.
I hate when they do that.
Yeah, Jodi Lynn Anderson. So this is like, I think it's like a spooky wintry book, I think. So I'm excited for this one.
We're running behind, but that
Sorry.
is okay.
Last I have Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I have contemplated reading this book for so long and whether I should read the Grisha trilogy first or if I should read Six of Crows. I'm not a big fantasy person, so I didn't know what to start with, but I found someone on Bookstagram who's gonna buddy read it with me, so I'm excited for that. I probably won't get to this one, but it's on here just in case.
And then we
You thought we were done.
Yes, and then we are reading this book together. It is Playlist for the Dead by Michelle Falkoff.
Terrible last name.
It really is. Okay, but I got this book and I've had it on my shelves for a while, and one night I started reading it and stuff. Like, I did the first chapter, and with every chapter there is a song. So like, for instance, the first chapter, the first song is How to Disappear Completely by Radiohead, and then every single chapter there is a different song, and I am very intrigued by that, and I was super excited, and I told her about it, and we decided we were going to read it together.
For the readathon.
Yes.
Yay! I'm going to show them all of our snacks.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of snacks. We have my favorite, mandarin oranges in orange jello. We have homemade ice cream that my mother made with caramel. It is extremely melted. It wasn't all the way done. It melted really fast. But homemade chocolate ice cream with toppings. Mm-hmm. And then we have extremely hot tea in which I burnt my pinky coming down the stairs on. I had my finger against the mug.
It's peach
Don't
tea.
do that. Peach tea.
Peach tea.
Great. And then we just have milk.
Milk, and I also have my water, so we're set
Yes.
for a while. And we're gonna get reading.
Yes.
Yay! Before I get reading, I forgot to talk about the bingo cards that I made. So I just went online and found some prompts, like mentions food, there's a family dinner, it rains or snows, there's a celebration, like that kind of thing that you might come across in a book. And then when you come across it, you mark it off. And whoever gets a bingo first wins. But usually we try to go to clear all of them.
Yeah, we do.
Because we come across a lot of them.
But I've won every time.
Yeah, I think you've won every single one that
Yeah.
we've done. And so this one is Lexi's.
Yes.
This one is mine. Also, one other thing. You can follow her on Bookstagram.
Books with Lexi.
And her link will also be in the description box down below. And we both do hourly updates with how many pages we read per hour and the books that we're on, and we do pictures and stuff. And we link them into a highlight on our Bookstagram. So make sure you follow her, and also you can follow me. My Bookstagram is butterflies on my bookshelf with periods in between the words. Okay, let's get going.
Now we'll read.
Like not even 20 minutes into this readathon, and I swear I just found a typo in my book, and it's gonna drive me crazy. So it says, like, okay, so it's about this girl, and she was dead, but she's not, and I don't really know anything else about it yet. I'm like, okay, but she sits up on the metal table in the morgue, and she noticed that there's like cuts, like from where they did the autopsy on her body, and it says, I peek under the sheet I'm wearing, and there are 2 cuts that meet at my sternum and keep doing down. Not going, doing. And I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be going. I may be wrong, but hate when there's typos in books. It drives me insane. I can name 3 of them that I know off the top of my head.
You can?
Yeah, this book, Scythe had 2, and Uglies had 1 too. I think
Wow.
I think it might have had 2 in that one as well.
There was one book where there was not so many, but there was some. I can't remember. I have really bad memory.
I hate typos. Oh, this is gonna drive me crazy. Ugh. How far are you? How's your reading
I am on
experience?
page 27, and it's a little cliche
What?
and predictable. I don't know. It's just like these 2 kids instantly in love, and his father wants him to be a doctor, and he meets this girl that day, and he's like, but which one?
Sounds like the sun is also a star.
Yeah, I don't know.
It sounds like the plot of that.
I don't know. It's not super. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it yet. I'm only on page 27.
Yeah, I'm only on page 20.
It doesn't like show any part of him that's like, which one do I pick? Going with this girl or leaving? It hasn't got to that point yet, but I'm sure it will.
Mm.
And he's showing like no interest in being a doctor, meaning like his dad wants him to, you know. So yeah,
Sounds cliche.
predictable. Yeah.
It's 2 in the morning, and we decided to update. What page are you on?
I'm using a paper towel for my bookmark right now. I'm on page 80.
And I'm using an actual bookmark like a normal person.
I just want to get up.
I'm on page 87. So, I think, didn't you start on page like 20? Or something like that? Yeah, I started on 14, so I definitely have read more than you.
Not by that.
Not by much, no. How many boxes do you have marked off?
Oh, I need to update that.
How many did you mark off?
Hold on, let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10.
That's cheating because I only have 5. I feel like your book is just perfect for this.
My books are always perfect for this. I don't know how to explain it, but like always, I find like, oh yeah.
Maybe you're just better at spotting them and I'm just like reading over things.
Sure.
Alright, so we came upstairs so Lexi could brew more tea and look at this frickin' microwave. There's no turntable in the microwave.
Stop judging my microwave.
How does it heat evenly? There's no turntable.
That's what bothers me. I have to like move it. Like if I'm cooking something like.
That doesn't. No, that's not how microwaves work. Snack.
Book.
Other snack. We had to do some jumping jacks and take a stretch break. Can you not cough? I'm trying to film. And like take a stretch break and doing some jumping jacks because we're falling asleep because it is 3:08 in the morning.
This is the time we always get tired. It's
Yeah,
always
it's like always
like
at 3.
3, 4,
Mhm.
like right when we hit that mark. I
Yep.
think it's mentally, so we can't think that. We have to be like, oh, this is the time we get motivated. This is the time we go crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm on page 120.
I'm on page, not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure 95.
Something like that. And after...
Yeah, 95.
95. After I finish this book and she finishes her book, then we're gonna read Playlist for the Dead together. And yeah, it'll be fun. And I'm really tired. But we're gonna keep going and power through it.
I'm not even that tired. I'm chilling. I'm great.
Well, I'm sitting on the floor because if I sit on the bed, I will fall asleep. So I just woke up and I think I went to bed at like 4:30 or something like that. And I'm really tired, but Lexi is still sleeping. So, sorry, there's cats everywhere. But Lexi is still sleeping. So, I think I'm gonna just start reading without her until she wakes up because I got books to finish, you know? So, yeah. I'm on page like 140 of The Past and Other Things That Should Stay Buried. So I really need to like get going and finish a book already. I'm just really trying to read, kind of in the dark, and I'm just sitting here reading and the cat is literally sitting on top of my book. Like, how can I read when you're on top of my book, cat? So I'm just going along and reading and minding my own business when I find another typo in this book. It says, I'm 17 and we've only been together a year. How the hell am supposed to know? Not, am I supposed to know? This book is driving me crazy. So it is currently 1:30 in the afternoon, and I just finished my first book, The Past and Other Things That Should Stay Buried by Sean David Hutchinson. It was pretty good. I liked it, I guess. There were some things in it that I was like, well, okay, I guess. You know, like, it's about this guy and his family are like morticians, and then his best friend dies, and then one day he's like just preparing her body because his family's morticians, and then she wakes up, and then like they have to deal with that and like fix their friendship and stuff like that. But like there really wasn't an explanation for why she was like not dead, as they called it, because like she wasn't like a zombie, but she definitely wasn't alive. And like there were other things that happened too that didn't really have an explanation that I kind of wish there was one. But overall, it was still really good. Lexi hasn't read anything because she's been sleeping this whole time. Like I got up at like 10, I think. Yeah, Lexi's been sleeping this whole time while I've been reading in the dark because she was asleep. So, I think my next book is gonna be, well, it's gonna be one of these, obviously, because this is my TBR. But it'll probably be the shortest one because I want to like finish 2 books at least. I don't think I'll have time to finish 3 just because of how long it took me to finish that first book. So let's see which book has the least amount of pages. Okay, the last page in here is 247. For some reason the last chapter doesn't have page numbers. Maybe it's like some sort of acknowledgements or something. 247. Let's see how many are in this book. Ooh, this one has 228, so I think I'm probably gonna go with this one. I know that Let It Snow probably has more than that. Yeah, Let It Snow is 351. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Optimists Die First by Susan Nielsen. And Lexi is gonna wake up.
Yes, I know, I have to.
And keep reading Let's Get Lost. That's what she's reading. And then when she finishes that, then we're gonna read Playlist for the Dead. If she ever finishes that book. We'll see. I started Optimists Die First by Susan Nielsen. I am on page 3. And Lexi and I also came into the kitchen and made spaghetti, microwave spaghetti from frozen boxes. Whatever. And I was really hungry, so I'm glad that we're eating now. Okay. So now we have to pack up all of our stuff because we have to run to town. And then after we come back, we're going to my house to finish the readathon. So we need to take everything that we need with us to finish the readathon. So I'm going to pack up all of the books that I brought because I brought more than I needed, like I always do. Lexi, you have anything you want to add?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Okay, so it is currently 3 o'clock exactly, and I have to go to town because I have to go to the doctor to refill a prescription. But so while we're driving, we are going to read Playlist for the Dead out loud. So like, I'll read it out loud, and then actually once we're going from Lexi's house to my house and then getting my car, and then going to the appointment. So Lexi will read it out loud when I'm driving. But I'm starting with it, so yeah. Lexi, you have anything to update?
I slept for way too long. Way too long. And I'm mad at myself.
I tried to wake you up like 3 times.
Nothing wakes me up.
I know. So we're at my house now, and we had to run to town and get some things.
And I got coffee.
Yeah.
I was super excited.
And while I was driving, Lexi was reading Playlist for the Dead. So we're like 2 chapters in. We're on page 15.
While we listened to the music that the chapter gave us.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, this book has very much like 13 Reasons Why vibes.
That's what I was saying.
So.
It's like friend kills themselves, then they get left with something. In this case, it's a playlist of music rather than tape.
And I've found a really weird like trend in the books that I've been reading. So the first book I've read was about a girl who died and then she came back to life. And then in this one, Optimus Die First, one of the characters died. Well, yeah. Like before the book takes place, but like they talk about it. And then in this one, one of the main characters is dead for like the whole book. Like, why is everybody dying in my books? I don't understand. Anybody die in your books yet?
This girl's parents died, but it's not like the actual, it's just like past information.
Yeah, they just talk about it. That's what it's like in Optimus Die First.
Yeah.
But I've had 2 funeral scenes during this readathon.
But this book, I'm on page 142. I know I have not gotten that far. I fell asleep for like 9 hours.
God.
It was really bad. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. I usually don't do that in readathon. It's like, I never do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But this book is actually very interesting. It moves pretty quickly, and it's kind of like best friends right away, lovers right away. Like,
Insta love.
Yeah, it's very like, happens quickly, but the adventure of it is really cool. And I don't know how this is gonna progress. I don't know. I talked about it with her, but it's just a different style than I've seen before. But it's cool. I like it.
Do you want to keep reading this one?
Yes.
Okay, we'll read more of this. Okay, so it is, what time is it, Lexi?
6:28.
Oh, wow, it's already 6:30 and we've read a single thing. We didn't read anything last hour either because we were eating dinner. But, so Will came to join us. Say hi, Will.
Hello.
But Lexi and I decided that instead of continuing with Playlist for the Dead, we're going to continue with the books we're reading individually. So I'm going to continue reading Optimus Die First by Susan Nielsen. Will is going to read... What are you reading, Will?
I'm reading Specials by Scott Westerfield. It is the 3rd book in the Ugly series.
Yeah.
And I kind of like these more than I thought I would. So.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought you hated them.
No, I did. Well, I don't hate them as books. I just hate New Pretty Town because it's described so stupidly.
Uh-huh.
The way they use bubbly and it's like everybody's just a valley girl basically.
Yeah, so Will and I are doing a reread of that series so we can read the new books that are coming out. Well, mostly me. Lexi, what are you reading?
I'm still reading Let's Get Lost.
Right there.
Sorry. I'm still reading this. I have not gotten very much farther. I am right now looking at books on Amazon because me and Ebony decided like we're going to annotate books for each other and then give it to each other for our birthdays because we have close birthdays in May. A while away, but
yeah, we did that last year too.
Yeah.
I annotated Winter Girls and she annotated Speak, both by Laurie Halse Anderson, and then we swapped and read them. And like I've mentioned it before, I have it on my bookshelf at the dorm. It's got tabs and stuff because it's annotated. But yeah, so Lexi, what book are you doing?
Oh, Where the Forest Meets the Stars.
Yeah, she's gonna annotate that, and then I'm gonna annotate probably Turtles All the Way Down, I think. Because I have 2 copies of that, and I don't need 2 copies. So I'll just annotate one of the ones that I have and give her that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna actually read, because we haven't been doing that for a while. Stay tuned for updates. So, I'm just sitting here, minding my own business, trying to drink my water, but apparently I can't drink water while laying down, and I ended up spilling it on my book. So, like, the pages are kind of wrinkled now. My mom used a blow dryer and dried it, but, like, look, it, like, doesn't, like, shut right now, and now I'm really sad. Also, I've turned to listening to the audiobook while reading because I was getting really tired and I was having a hard time focusing. Not because I'm not enjoying it, just because I can't focus on what I was reading, so I'm reading the audiobook along with it, which helps. Anybody else have any updates?
I read about 40 pages. Tally is really dumb and really bad at her job.
I've read about 40 pages too, which is the most I've read, and I'm trying to keep going.
Keep going. Okay, we'll talk in a little bit. Okay, Lexi has some things that she'd like to say about her book.
Okay, so right now I am on page 220. I feel like I should be way farther in this book, but I am not. And it's making me very mad. The book itself isn't, like, slow. Like, the story isn't slow. Like, I feel like it's been going through it. But, like, it is 9:44, and I am only on page 220. I've only been reading this book. How am I not farther? I'm just frustrated. That's my...
So it's not because it's boring.
No, it's not.
Is the text small?
No, I feel like it's regular.
It's regular size text. Huh.
I mean, I did sleep for a while.
Yeah, is there a lot of dialogue?
I don't know. It's a good amount.
Plus, it's like almost 400 pages long.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Yeah, there's that as well. Will, did you want to talk about your book?
You'll recall I was reading Specials, the 3rd book, and I was kind of really liking it. It seemed interesting. As I mentioned, Tally's a dummy, but they got into an action sequence where they were, like, trying to, like, steal things, and it should have been, like, super exciting and really cool, but it was so boring. I don't know why. I just did not like it. And so now I'm done with that, and I'm on to part 2, and maybe, like, part 2 is where stuff is going to get really interesting, because I think they're actually going to, like, leave the city in part 2, but, like, I don't want to kind of start it, because I don't want to, like, finish the whole book without you, because we said we were going to do this together.
It's okay. You can finish. I'll catch up on audiobook if you finish the book. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk about my book real quick. I don't have negative comments quite as much as they do. So I read Optimist Diverse. I'm actually listening on audio.
That's very optimistic of you to say.
I'm listening on audio and, like, reading along in the book just because I'm, like, tired and I was losing focus. And so, like, I'm getting along really fast because I listen on, like, I'm on, like, 2.6 speed or something, so it goes really fast. So I'm on page 209. The only complaint I have about it, well, actually there's 2. So the first one is the main character, she's a pessimist is what she calls herself, but she, like, almost obsessively, like, finds, like, crazy deaths that happen, and she, like, washes her hands a lot, and just, like, things, I would think that she's OCD, like, just from what I've read about her character, I would assume she's OCD, but she has not been diagnosed or anything, so, I mean, maybe she's not? I don't know. So, like, if she has some sort of mental disorder, I wish they would, like, explore that more. The other problem I have is the characters are almost, like, detached. Like, I'm detached from them. I don't really have a lot of, like, emotional attachment to the characters. The main character, yeah, like, just because I'm in her head, but, like, the other characters, like, things are happening in between, like, relationships with other characters, and I'm just like, okay, this is happening now, that's cool, like, there's no, like, you know, like, plot twists and stuff, so that's my other thing that I don't really like about it. What are you doing, Lex?
I am going in the living room with my light and my book. and going to read there.
With no phone.
With no phone, so I can focus more. Because I have to finish this portion. You cannot see that. This is horrible. I'm sorry. The small portion, I have to finish it by midnight. I mean, not by midnight, but I want to finish it, so...
You can do it.
I'm gonna seclude myself so I can do it.
Okay.
Thank you for the motivation.
And like about 20 minutes ago, I finished Optimist Die First by Susan Nielsen. I got a little distracted on Instagram, which is why I didn't update it right away. But I was listening to most of it on audiobook, which is why I got through it so fast, because I listened to my audiobook really fast. But I had a little bit of problems with the characters and the plot, but I still think it was a good read. I gave it like 4 stars. So, yeah, it was really good. And I didn't know what I was going to read next, but I think the best thing for me to do is to just continue with Playlist for the Dead and just read it by myself and not have Lexi read it with me. Okay, Lexi went a bit over time because she had like 15 pages left and she wanted to finish it. And we allowed that. So, you want to go first?
Okay, so I sadly only finished one book. Let's Get Lost. And at first I was a little skeptical. I was like, this is really cliche. Like, that's predictable and stuff. But then as I like progressed, I really, really liked it. The ending scared me because I thought something wasn't going to happen. And I was like, I swear, if this book doesn't do that, then I'm not going to like it. I'm going to be so mad. But a part of me will really like it because I like what happened. But it did end up happening. But I still was really scared. But I really like the book. And I'm giving it 4.5 stars. It's not that big of a book.
How many pages was it?
It
took you all day to read it.
I know, it took me so long. It was 360 pages. Isn't that much, but like...
But that's a lot to read in one day, because the two books that I finished were both in the 200s.
Yeah.
So.
Even if you read like 30 pages an hour, which is, like, to me, fairly slow, that's still like 10 hours.
Yeah.
I read like, depending on the book, obviously, but... Typically, I read 30 to 40 pages an hour.
Yeah,
if I'm focused, I can read 40.
Yeah. If I'm focused, but I get sidetracked so easily.
Well, I think while I was reading,
and it's kind of hard to not get sidetracked for 24 hours.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. While I was reading The Past and Other Things That Should Stay Buried, I think I read 52 pages in a chapter, like in an hour.
Oh dang! Well, they're probably smaller.
This past hour, like the last hour, where I was trying to get it done before midnight, but it was not going. So I'm like, kind of like, I'm reading as fast as I could, but it's like the end, so it's like kind of important, I guess. I'm like, stop going so fast, and then I looked at the time. I'm like, no, go faster! Like I kept going back and forth.
That's funny. You want
Alright, yeah, I probably put the least effort into this. Not only did I show up late, I also just kind of like stopped reading. At about. I said I was going to work on something, and if I had time, I might go back to reading. I did have time, but I didn't want to jump back into the book because I ended right at the start of part 2. But I think I'll be excited to get back into it because I've had a little bit of a break. I think just reading that straight for like 2 hours was just tedious and mind-numbing, and I just needed a break from it. But
How many pages did you read?
I read about 90 because I started at like 42, and I'm at like 134. I'm at 137.
Something. Cool.
So yeah, about 90 pages.
Okay.
In that.
So I read the most. Which sounds
like
terrible.
usual.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I started out with reading The Past and Other Things That Should Stay Buried by Sean David Hutchinson. I was on page 14 when we started, and so I did finish it, I think at like around 11 or something. And
I picked that one up, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah. When we bought this book in May, Will picked it out.
Because I thought it had a cool cover, and I'm like, girl comes back from the dead. That sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm. And I really liked it. There are a couple issues I had with it, but it was still pretty good. I gave it 4 stars. And then, the next book I actually read. Optimist Die First by Susan Nielsen. I actually read most of this on audiobook, because like I was starting to get like distracted and tired, so I was like, just following along in the book with my audiobook, which was really helpful. And it got me through it really fast because I listen on fast speeds. And I finished this around 10 o'clock. And so I was like, well, I have 2 hours left. What do I read? So I just decided, since we'd started Playlist of the Dead, Lexi and I started it.
We didn't get very far.
We got like 20 or so pages in.
Yeah.
We were reading it out loud together, but I'm like, wow, we're definitely not going to finish this.
The whole time you were reading that, I'm like, why are you listening to such weird, like, you're listening to Metallica, and then some dude like, I don't want to grow up.
Well, that's
you started
because...
reading that?
Yeah, this is what I
okay.
finished off with.
Oh, okay.
But that's because
I was in the
each
other one.
chapter has, like, a song that goes along with it. So I was, let's see. So I would, like, listen to the song while I was reading it.
Metallica. You're like, what the?
Yeah, there's a Metallica song in here.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you just listening to Metallica's One out of nowhere?
That's funny. Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't finished this one yet. I'm on page 70.
Also,
What?
fun tidbit, you were talking about this book a lot, and my brain always went straight to Optimus Prime. Because you're like, I didn't hear, like, the Optimists, I just heard Optimus. So I'm like, Optimus Prime, what?
Okay.
This book, okay, it's very good if you want to read about adventure. At first, you might get the wrong idea, but the overall message is very great.
It's compared to Paper Towns.
Yeah, It's
So.
very like that, like, girl kind of goes off on her own journey and stuff. But it's very different. I haven't read Paper Towns, but I've seen the movie, and it's very different. From the movie, anyway.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, we explained this earlier, where, like,
Maybe.
these bingo sheets, and we do them before we start reading, so obviously we're not like, let's see, it rains in this, so let's put that down. Like, we just put kind of random things.
I write them down and I just number them 1 through 24, and then I do like a random number generator, and then like write them out like that. So that's how they're random.
And we both got 20 squares, like the exact same amount. I don't know if you can see that. There you go.
There.
But we got 20 squares each. 4 bingos. I got 4 bingos.
I only got 2. No, 3.
You got 3.
3.
Oh.
But you got a bingo first. She got a bingo it was like 2 a.m.
really
and she got
early.
a bingo, and I'm like, she always wins that. So how many pages?
386.
Ish.
Yeah, 386.
Yeah.
About.
Okay. And then I read 578 pages.
And I read 90.
Are you guys tired?
No.
I'm not tired either. Like, at
You
all.
were like...
I know, I was like really tired, but now
You were
I'm vlogging.
I think it's
insane
just like
earlier.
the yay, we finished kind of.
Yeah. Well, like when you're reading, you get really tired.
Yeah.
So.
And this is like the yay, we're finished. I just said that, but
Yeah.
This is the yay nap time for me.
Yeah, I'm sad that I didn't get
To any of the other
ones. And I read.
She didn't
really
even get to this one. This one is so
I know,
great.
I really wanna read that.
This is a beautiful book.
I do.
You should just
But-
like.
I would rather have finished this instead of gotten halfway and then read 20 pages of this, 20 pages of this,
Yeah.
40 pages of this, and then like a little like
This
I
one
would
doesn't
rather,
even take a long time. Like
I
all
know.
it's
That's
like a picture book.
That's why I said
graphic
40
novel.
instead of 20.
Okay, one last thing I wanted to go over before we wrap up this video is that Lexi and I have both been doing hourly updates on our Bookstagram accounts, so make sure you follow both of us. The links will be down below, or you can follow Lexi at...
Books W Lexi.
Yeah, like books.
Also known as Books with Lexi, but Books W Lexi.
And then mine is Butterflies on My Bookshelf with periods in between the words. Will doesn't have a Bookstagram.
I do have a YouTube channel, but it's not book related. It just has a bunch of really dumb videos on it, so feel free to torture yourself with my dumb videos if you want to.
Yeah, I'll link that down below as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Readathon vlog. I know I did one just recently, but this is another one.
Including people.
Yeah, there's more
Yay.
people in this one.
With friends.
She has friends.
I do.
No.
I'm your friend.
Just a friend?
Just a friend.
Oh, okay. If you like this video, please make sure you like and subscribe down below and hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever I post. I post new videos every Friday at 5 p.m. Central Time, so you can expect to see more from me soon. Also, you can follow me on social media. Like I said before, my links are down below.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll
Have
see
a great night, day, morning, whatever it is for you.
you. I'll see you in my next video.
Go read those books and don't let your dreams be memes. Or is it the other way
Don't
around?
let your memes be dreams.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.